What's up? Everybody talks about consistency, but what actually is even consistency, and how do we get consistent in the first place? See, I uploaded my first YouTube video about a year and 3 months ago, and I told myself I'm gonna upload every single week one video. Well, that didn't happen. The last 6 months, I was able to consistently upload one video per week, and the results, well, I was actually shockingly surprised how much consistency brings me value back. Today, I wanted to share 5 tips that I learned along the way in my content creator journey that helped me to build up consistency. And it's not really about consistency, it's about the systems. Let me put you on that. Yeah, let's go. In this video, I'm gonna talk a lot about how I got there, and I think you can note a few things down, so feel free to grab a pen and paper or just take some notes online. First point, stop comparing yourself. This is, I think, my biggest issue in the beginning and still something I'm struggling with. The moment you start to compare yourself with other people, your third video to the 300s or 1000th video, you're gonna kill all the momentum that you're trying to build. Only by putting in the reps and putting out videos, you're gonna eventually learn and create your own style. And this is something that I'm still iterating and trying out. However, every time I'm looking at somebody else, don't disguise looking for inspiration with comparing yourself, because that's something that I fell in trap with a lot, that I was looking for inspiration, but then I ultimately just compared myself with other people. So this is my number one advice, my first advice. Next up, the most important part I would say in this whole process is coming up with a great idea. Idea, aka title and thumbnail, have to be first established before you even come up with the whole video. Let me tell you one thing. My first ever YouTube video, on this channel at least, was based on this principle, and that's why, even though the video itself wasn't that good quality content wise, the title and thumbnail were good enough to bring in 2,700 people and make my first 80 followers. But I mean, all numbers aside, packaging is so important. How do you come up with ideas? Keep a notebook with yourself. Have your phone. I have the newer iPhones, you have like those quick action buttons. I have mine assigned on my notes, so whenever I have an idea, I just press on it and I speak my idea down. Or I just note down. I have a Notion idea brain dump list. Whenever I have those ideas and see which I feel like doing the most, and then put in some ideas, words, and write down which this video can be about. This process helps create the videos way easier. And now, talking about producing, pre-production is a key part of creating a consistent system. It's something that I still lack a lot. However, every time I do pre-production videos, way more effortless. Just put down some notes of some talking points that you want to have done, fully scripted if that's not your type, because I also don't like to do that. I like to speak freely as possible. Some crucial shots that you want to have, for example, an establishing shot of the scene, or if you want to have a top-down shot, or if you want to have a shot of you getting coffee, whatever you want to use for telling the story. Too cold. So let's say you have this ideation pre-production phase done. Now your job is to go shoot and enjoy the fun part. However, you want to make use of this shot list that you kind of created in the pre-production phase to shoot as efficiently as possible. I had times when I ran out of storage on my phone already, and now that I'm shooting on this camera, which takes up a lot of storage, especially with those settings that I'm using, you want to shoot as efficient as possible. Otherwise, you will run into storage problems like I did. I just recently got myself this HDD, I've got my SDD, so it's a lot of additional cost if you don't shoot efficiently. I know sometimes overshooting feels more safe, but the more you practice, the better you'll get at it eventually. I'm still in this process as well, obviously. However, I learned that with this list or having a certain shots in mind, I can save a lot of storage, and it will save me more time in the editing phase instead of the shooting phase, because we all have things to do, and then we can focus on bringing the footage alive, taking the footage and then not bringing the video alive at all. Additionally, what you want to do when you are filming and you already have this whole setup, for example, of my lighting, I have everything here set up to batch film. This is, of course, if you want to create more content on YouTube in one go, or if you also want to create for Instagram. For example, right now I could also make a video about me talking about my gear, about my camera lenses and stuff while I'm in this setting to save up more time. I'm gonna give you a bonus tip in the end how you can shoot vertical content while filming horizontal. You want to stay tuned for that one. The next tip is so crucial. Let's say you shoot everything and you're going back to the edit. You want to immediately, you don't want to let it sleep for one night or whatever. Put your file in a folder system. So what I do, for example, is that I have a designated project folder where I put my footage in, which camera I shoot on potential thumbnails, what sound effects I want to use, what music. Everything that belongs to this project has to be in this folder within the same day, because otherwise I will lose track. Someone who, like who edits most of the time, 99% chronologically, this saves you so much time. You know, you just have to drag and drop, drag and drop, drag and drop. This is one thing that just reduced my time by a lot. Now let's say you have your file organized, everything is done, you drag and drop it onto your timeline. That's where the important step comes in, color coding. Color coding helped me and a lot of other creators to just automate this workflow. You know, you have your timeline, let's say, and then you have a certain point where you have the intro, which is, 30 seconds, let's say. Then you have A-roll in the city, and then you have some outro footage. And then you just color code each of these pieces, and therefore your brain automatically knows, okay, where's what, where's the A-roll part, where's the sound effect, where's whatever. And that will just automate work in progress, and the goal here is to create more, think less in that sense. Once you have that, create the backbone. This is something that I like to do, rough cuts, and I like to edit backward. When I have a lot of footage of the same talking or whatever it is, I try to look at the last footage, because that's usually the last one that I was okay with. The rest I can delete, because that will save me a lot of time. I fill the gaps after I did the whole A-roll and the music situation here and there, and fill the rest with B-roll, sound effects, and color grading last, because my laptop is pretty old and it doesn't take that heavy of color grading. That's what I keep for last approach it. To sum up everything what I said in this part. So first you have your files organized, and then you can put it easily onto your timeline. So it's pretty simple, day 1, day 2, whatever. And then you color code your timeline, depending on if you have it chronologically or the way you work with it. Then you create the spine, so just the rough cuts, putting out the basic foundation of the video, which I'd say a good 80% of the work most of the time, depending on the video you do, but for me at least. Then you just fill the gaps and finish the video by adding B-roll, sound effects, whatever you need. My last point for this video is momentum. The reason why I stopped creating content when I published my first and second video was because I didn't have the clear idea and purpose how to film, what to film. It took me so much mental energy to overcome this first video in the first place that I just stopped and vanished for the next 6 months. Every little win builds momentum, and your job is to keep the wheel spinning. I know it's easier said than done, but make sure that every single video that you put out there is easy to replicate, to repeat, and not perfect. This video is far from being perfect. It's way easier than putting it in one go, than just perfecting everything, postponing it mentally, and all of that. And the important thing is also to not start from scratch. Every video should make the next one easier. What I never did, but now doing it, it saved me a lot of time, energy, and everything, is that I have one specific timeline depending on what editing software you use, but I use DaVinci. I have my music folders, I have my sound effects folders, some overlays, so I have everything on one certain spot, so I don't always have to start everything from scratch. So much quicker to edit all of the footage. Keep that in mind. The goal is to keep the wheel spinning once it starts rolling. And now for the tryhards out here, like I'm trying to do recently, is when you're trying to post on short form like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, you can repurpose your footage. What I'm doing right now is I have a grid laid out on my camera. As long as I stay in the middle of the grid, then I can repurpose this horizontal footage into vertical footage. You already shot the footage, you already did the hard work, you can just repurpose it for social media, and that will increase your chances of being seen by 4 times. Make use of your hard work that you did in the first place, why not? This is a progress which will take some time, and you will need to iterate this progress over and over, and it's different for everyone. However, consistency and having a system go hand in hand. One doesn't work without the other, because after all, without the system, your consistency won't matter, because you probably will burn out. Take it easy on you, do what you are able to, do what's necessary, and I hope this video helped someone out there. And if you have any questions or want to know something else, feel free to let me down in the comments below. And yeah, like and subscribe. Peace.